Hello and welcome to another heads up. I have queen 5 but it's on a button, so I make the standard raise. He instantly folds, so we'll see what he does in his button. He also raises. We have a gut shot here. We have ace high. We might call the continuation bet and lead out on the turn. So we'll lead out here, hope to take it away. We actually hit a 6 as well. And he hit a queen, so yep. Try to play aggressive and it cost us. We have deuce 9 here, which isn't that good. This totally missed him, I guess, as it also missed me. So it does fall to the c bet there. Deuce 4, he falls to 0 button, so I have a queen on the button. This is the third time I do this, so he should give it less respect. Obviously, I don't really have a hand, but I mean, he should start playing pots instead of folding. But he does continue his folding. 6-9 off, out of position. Too much of a raise here. Queen 3 suited. Obviously, I want to play it. And yet again, I think that's 4 times in a row where I do this and he falls. So yeah, he plays really tight so far. So when he actually decides to play a hand which doesn't seem like it, he's willing to have to keep in consideration that he probably has a decent hand. Yeah, he's giving up an insane amount of blinds. I mean, the one where I had the queen, hit a 6, well, while he hit the queen, actually hit something, and I was down 400, and now it's about even. I mean, just because he keeps doing stuff like that. This is really odd. I mean, I'm never gonna pay him off, am I? If he just keeps doing this, this is gonna be the most boring episode ever, people. Why is he auto-folding? I mean, look at this. It's just me winning the pot. Then whenever he does something, obviously I'm gone. Yeah, I wanna call. I have queen 9. Hit a 9. He might c-bet, we'll call. He doesn't c-bet, he probably has an ace, so we'll fold to here. And he actually doesn't have anything either. So yeah, no clue why he showed there. So finally he does decide to play a pot and it's 6-9 off. Pretty odd. We have ace 4 suited, so obviously we'll call. If he does finally decide to play a pot, which it doesn't. Just folding all around, people. 9-6 off the one hand. He decided to play with. We hit a 6, so we'll continuation bet here. He does call, so we'll check or fold to his bet. Obviously, once they start playing aggressive, we sometimes have to fold hands. We totally missed this. Even if he hits something, we assume it's not good. So we have 10 high. He has jack high. I just don't want to lead out here. Jack deuce. I only play this because they're suited, but he finally decides to 3-bet and take it up. He might just have been slow playing, folding a lot of hands to do stuff like that. I mean, he's still in the lead at this point, so that I give more respect to his aggression. Here we have pretty nuts hand. We have trips. Obviously, queen ace is good. Hearts are good, but we'll see. He does fold, so yeah. We flopped trips, tried to slow play it, but didn't get a lot of value out of it. Here he goes 60. Sure, you can have it. King 10, really strong hand. Totally missed, but I assume he did that as well. And yeah, he insta folds. King 3, again an oversized bet. No clue why he does that every time. Ace 3, obviously we wanna see a flop. King 8, if he does an oversized bet here I will call, but he does fold. I mean, look at this, he's giving away more blinds than I am with other things, right? Ace Queen, I have 2 overcards to this board. The board isn't good here, but I hit my queen. Only a jack beats me. Let's re-raise him, he calls. Let's call his 40, hope he doesn't have a straight. He just had a 9, so he had third pair and called me off really hard. I mean, I'm fine with that, especially since he let out on the river as well. Keep paying me off, man. I'm just surprised he's so selective in the hands he wants to see a flop with, especially if it's such a low amount he has to pay. He doesn't even raise his dealer button, which I have done every single time. Of course he can shove there. I mean, it's only 40 for me to fold. Ace 10, let's call here. We have a pretty sick hand. He probably doesn't have anything here. I mean, we still have an ace high, right? He probably has ace high. Yeah, he had a better ace. So yeah. Ace 4 here. We totally miss. He leads out. Pretty big, I think, 3/4 of the pot. So Jack 3 is something I don't want to play, but yet again he folds. Deuces. He calls. We hit a set. Hope he has something, and he doesn't. He just folds way too often. Folds to every C bet. He doesn't adjust. He doesn't. I mean, at least at this point, he might start playing more aggressive at higher blinds. But as far as I have seen, he has been way too selective in his hand choice. He doesn't C bet here, even though he limped. He probably doesn't have anything. But I mean, I can't call with queen high, can I? Deuce 8. Deuce 8. Deuce king. Suited. We hit the deuce. He will lead out because he's an idiot. We'll just call, see what he does. He'll check, and I think we can take it away here. Yeah, he folds the better hand, obviously. But I mean, it's just because he's so selective in his hand choice. I mean, it's not like I had a great hand, right? We have middle pair. So we will call here. Hope not a diamond comes. It does. And he obviously has a diamond. He actually hit the ace, so he was ahead all the time. Ace 8 on the button, but he folds. Boring. 10-6, see what he does. He shoves. Wow. So he plays very passive, and then some hands he just shoves. It's really odd. So that's the second time he shoved. Obviously something to keep in mind. He has finally decided to play some more hands. He bets 90, again 3/4 of the pot. So when he does bet, he actually bets pretty steep. We have Jack 3, again a low kicker jack, which is something I hate. I actually prefer playing 7-3 over Jack 3. Let's see bet here, see what he does. He calls, so he probably has something. We're just giving up this hand. I mean, we have 7-3. We can bluff at this, but not with his hands. So he just folds. Deuce 7, yeah, I won't play that one. Seeing as he folds this often, I can give away some of my hands. Because it doesn't actually matter. I don't think any of this hit him, but it hasn't hit me either, and I have 7 high. So yeah. King 10 suited, pretty good hand. Just another fold. This is gonna be the theme of the evening, of the day, right? Fold, 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 fold. Really, that's twice I get King Queen suited. Yeah, let's call and see what comes. We totally missed this. He probably missed this. He's gonna lead out because he's an idiot. Now we have a flush draw. We can call, but I mean, if he has ace high, we're basically dead. So I can't call there. Obviously, I would have wanted it to see something. Yeah, the aces doesn't really matter, does it? King 8. We hit top pair. Pretty dangerous board though. He calls. Flush can't get there. We'll just call. See what he bets again. Does he have the flush? He doesn't. So we have a better kicker with the king. 4-7 off, but he just folds. 3-5. Yeah, this even commentating on this or playing this out is actually really boring for me. Especially seeing as he folds this often. He's way too selective in the hands he plays. Jack 3 obviously gone for me. You almost never find me in a pot with Jack 3, just because that's trashy. I have deuce, so bottom pair. That ace might have hit him though, and he hit a 10. So yeah, he actually was scared of the ace, I guess. It seems odd. We have ace 4, we hit it. Let's lead out, see what it does. He calls. Another diamond comes, but it makes us 2 pairs, so we're probably ahead. So we'll see. Not another diamond, but the board pairs, so if he has a 3, we're doomed. He had a better raise, but we got 2 pairs, so yeah. 60 for 6-3. Totally missed a flop, and we'll give this up. I mean, look at that hand. He had top pair, a pretty good kicker, and he just check called. He didn't check raise. He didn't really play that aggressive. The only hand he really played aggressive is well, the 2 shoves obviously, but then the other one is where he had aces. I mean, it's not hard to play aggressive when you have aces, right? But for the rest of the time, he's just grinding him down, and trying not to pay him off. Here I have a decent hand, which I want to see a flop with. He doesn't continue though, which is odd. So he had me out-kicked, but because of the board double pair, we basically split pots. He shoves yet again. That's the 3rd time he does it. Did it while we have even stacks. As soon as I get a decent hand, then it does it again, like the jacks before. I'll call him there, but here we have 8 deuce, but the board totally is better than us. I mean, we're playing 8 high. It's not something we want to play. 7-5 offsuit. I mean, we have the deal button, and he is way too tight. 8-3. See what it does. He might just fold, shove, whatever. I'm probably folding even to a min bet. Yeah, I'm folding here. Somehow, yeah, I'm folding. So I mean, for a guy like this, maybe he's just better at bigger blinds and he wants to play it like this. Maybe he's not that bad of a player and he has a totally different type of play. But I mean, for me, this is really boring, right? I mean, what's the point of playing heads up if you're not willing to play a lot of hands? We hit 2nd pair, so obviously we'll bet. He calls, a king comes, so it's an overcard, so we'll see what he does now. He does fall to the turn bet, so he probably didn't have anything or just had a 3, and because I bet twice, he folded it. And yet again, he folds his button. Here we have Jack 3, so we obviously fold our button as well against the guy. We fold as much as like 50%, I guess. 7-9 suited, obviously we call. We flop trips. Hope he has an ace. He doesn't, so we'll lead out here ourselves. I mean, what beats us, right? An ace doesn't beat us. An ace doesn't beat us. Pocket 5 beats us. Yeah, wow. You fold a 6. Wow, big fucking whoop, man. I also don't get why people show cards. It basically gives me free information. That's the 4th time he shoves. But I mean, obviously I don't have hands to play, as I would have called. Jack 10, we flop runner, straight draw, so we're gone, especially at such big bet sizes. I mean, as soon as we get a hand, his bet sizing is gonna catch up to him and gonna cost him. Here we have bottom pair, but we also have runner, straight. Jack comes, so he checks again. We'll lead out again, pretty high, and he does call, so we'll probably beat, especially our deuce. He leads out on the river, so yeah, I'm gone here. I haven't shoved myself yet, so I haven't really gotten the spots for it either, and I'm not that kind of player. I rather grind it out and do stuff. But this guy only seems to be playing strong hands for some other reason. I mean, sure, you can, but it's gonna catch up to you eventually. Maybe not against me, because I'm not that kind of an aggressive player, and I'm also not used to playing against this, so I'm not used to how to handle this. But I mean, he was ahead again, and he lost like 4 hands in a row just because he fold a lot of hands. Here we have runner straight. Now we need to hit a 3. But I mean it's a gut shot, and even if a 3 comes, if it's a heart, we'll probably beat. We could have already been beat. Stuff like that. No reason to call there. King 9, pretty good hand, but it does fold. Queen 3 suited, obviously want to play that. He doesn't. I mean, look at this. Just because he folds this often, he's just making me catch up and eventually get ahead. And when he does play a hand, that's fine by me. We hit bottom pair here, so we'll check and see what he does in turn. Third diamond comes, fourth diamond comes, so yeah. We win. Pretty odd there. Pretty odd spot. Might have played it a bit too tight, but seeing as he selected to play the hand, I assumed he actually had something. Here we have the deal button, and it's a pretty fine flop. We'll check here as well. I mean, we have 10 high. He has ace 10, so that's why he called. I mean, but he only plays those kind of hands, which is really odd. So here we have a gut shot. Even if we hit it, we don't assume we're good. We actually do hit it, and we have a flush draw as well. We actually make our flush, so let's bet 275 again. We have done this before. Wow, you fold an 8, big deal, man. Your 8 was beat on the turn anyway. And yet again, I have no clue why this guy shows it so often. So we might be drawing that. So king high, probably good. Yep. King again. He does have to start doing stuff. I mean, because of his all his folding, and again, he put me back in the lead even though I was behind before. Here we have ace jack, obviously a strong hand. But do not get a lot of action out of this guy, right? It is gonna be a really long grind. He actually limps on the button. A flop comes 10 deuce deuce, and I have jack 6. So yeah, we actually hit our jack. So if he bets 40, we call because we have the jack. Thank you. Free monies, man, free monies. I don't get why he didn't bet on turn. Yeah, we will see a flop. I mean, for 40, we want to see a flop here. We'll check it, see what the turn brings. He bets 80 on a pot of 240, which is low for him. Might have just been a steal, of course, but I didn't have the kind of hand to call it. Jack 8 again, same hand. If he 3-bets me here once more, obviously I'm calling. We have a gut shot here. He leads out on the pot pretty high. Hope he get a gut shot. We actually hit a jack, so let's bet 275, and he insta folds. I think he tried to steal the pot there. Obviously I called. So he actually varies a lot. He folds a lot, but when he plays a hand, he plays it really aggressive. Or he tries to play it really aggressive. Here we have bottom pair, which is probably good. We make 2 pair. Hope he bets there, and now a king, which is really dangerous. If the king didn't come, I obviously would have let out on river, but I guess I wouldn't have gained any value from this guy anyway. Now with the blinds this high, he has to step up his game. That was a pretty steep bet, by the way. But he does still seem to be folding. Here we have an ace. He 3-bets me once more. We still have an ace, and we have runner flush. We still have runner flush. We totally miss. So we only have ace high. We have to give up this hand. Yeah, your 9 was good, man. I know. No one gives a shit. He just limps again. We totally miss again. And we totally miss again. Yeah, you can have it. So, yeah, maybe I should take a step more at some pots. Like this one, he checks to me here, so yeah, we'll just take it away. Sometimes he leads out, sometimes he doesn't. Obviously we have deuce 7, but he just folds his button. Why not? Ace queen, obviously a hand I want to go all in with if he 3-bets me here. He just calls. We totally miss, but we have 2 overs, so we're willing to bet here and just take the pot. He does call, and we do not hit one of our overs. He leads out himself, so we'll fold here. He probably assumed I had a king and had something like better hand. Yeah, it should have gone all in pre-flop, idiot. So he shoves here. He does that sometimes. I mean, I never do it. I understand why some people do it, but we have two pair. I mean, let's re-raise him. That's a pretty scary card, so let's bet 450 only. He has king deuce, wow. Now we have king deuce, but he just limps to us. We actually hit our deuce, so we have a pair. He hit a 8, I have no clue why he doesn't bet on the flop, especially in position. Here we have pocket 5s, pretty good hand. 2 overs though, but I mean, we have to bet here, right? And he just folds. Pocket 9s, a lot better, so let's raise it up to 250. Hope he shoves, obviously we're calling. 2 overs though, and a flush draw, so let's lead out. We can't play scared with pockets, right? I did 3-bet him. So here he shoves. If he has an ace or king, we're drowned dead. If he has a flush draw, we're golden, but I mean, we can't call it, right? We only have pocket 9s. He did call our 3-bet, so he probably has an ace. That's, by the way, the 6th time he shoved. So far I have shoved 0 times. I understand that this is a strong play to shove, but I just don't think it's good. You risk your entire stack, maybe sometimes on a bluff. Maybe sometimes you just don't have a good hand enough. And the only person that is gonna call you is a gambler. Those people do exist, of course. Or someone who has a better hand than you. Obviously I have 8 high here, he has king high. I actually hit a 9, so he wouldn't have gone away. Especially after double checking. I'm gonna give up this one blind. 8-10 suited, obviously wanna see a flop, but he just folds. Queen 6, yeah, that's way too high. We have king 10, great hand. We actually hit trip king, so we'll slow play him. Hard draw comes, let's raise it up. He calls, another hard comes, so we have 10 high flush, so let's just call. He has ace 10, so yeah. 8-6, he folds. Once more, right? I mean, this guy just folds. No 3, so basically just a bunch of overcards. Let's see bet here, see if he hit it. He doesn't, probably scattered the ace. So we're in the lead yet again. And we get pocket queens, which he just folds to his deal button. I mean, he doesn't even want to take a stab at it. Obviously, he would have gotten a re-raise, and he had to have an option. I have no clue what someone just asked me. We'll see later. Still we have 2 overs. We have runaround straight and the equity that default, so we have 7-4. He re-raises heavily. You can have it. Now we have connected suitors, so obviously want to see a flop, but this guy never wants to see flops, I guess. He just wants to shove sometimes and fold the rest of his hands ever. I mean, he does get ahead sometimes, and I do understand that that happens. I mean, that's poker. But he just allows himself to go down and down and down again. And at one point in the game, I will be able to just shove or call his insane overbets or his shove with a hand, and he's gone. Or at some point, I'll also be able to just do it when I have a draw heavy hand. King 7, and he just keeps on folding his blinds. He can't keep on doing this though. We have 7-10 here. I mean, you have to do something, right? That's the 9th time he does that, by the way. Here we have an ace, but whatever. Here we have King Jack, pretty good hand. If he shoves, I'm probably calling, and he doesn't. 4-3 suited. He just folds. We're 2-1 now just because of his folding. We will fold this one. I mean, we can't always make the standard raise. 9-7 we will check out, sure. We actually hit gutter ball, but it might not be good. We actually hit an open ender now, so we'll call the bet. And we don't get there, so if he bets we're folding. We have a king, but I mean, it's not good enough, right? He picked up aggression now, but still not good enough. We're still ahead. Jack 3 obviously is something I won't be playing. King 4 suited I will be playing. Unless he shoves, of course, which is a dunk play anyway. He's thinking about it though, he's really thinking about it. And he folds. I think if I ever shove, he has to give it way more respect than I should give it to him, obviously, because I haven't done it before and he has done it 9 times so far. I haven't seen any of his hands, but he didn't do it with aces, so I want to get max value out of his aces. Yeah, deuce 10 I will call a flop, but obviously this flop is so dangerous. He will c-bet to it, or should c-bet to this kind of flop. He does it delayed with a really low, so it's just a steal probably, or a value. We'll never know. Deuce 3 I will fold at this blind level. And he's back even. Jack deuce, actually hate but it's suited, so we'll see. And yet again we get a terrible flop like this, where it doesn't c-bet out on, and doesn't make the delayed c-bet either. So my jack is probably good. No, he actually hit a 9, but was really scared. A3 here we will fold. Ace 5 though, we probably will shove it in his face for once. Nope, he just folds anyway. Deuce 10 we will re-raise. It's been a while since we've done this, so he calls, we totally miss, he doesn't know that. Let's bet 145. He folds king queen. Yeah, that's your fault, right? I don't care. I mean, that's the only hand he ever calls with, right? Queen 8, we flop 2 pair, hope he does something. He doesn't. His bet 175, pretty high, and he doesn't have anything. I mean, it's fine, you never pay off my big hand so far. But I mean, we can just grind this out. Eventually it comes to a blind level where he has to start playing decent hands. A wide range of hands, and at that point I'm more used to that kind of play than him, because look at this, he just keeps on falling. We have been getting decent hands. He probably has a ace high, but I mean we can't stop calling it anyway, right? So we need to hit a king or an 8. We don't, he actually makes 2 pair. So yeah, he did shove with ace high, and we chose the wrong spot. We do have king high here, so we will shove. 3 queen, but it does just fold. 7 under. Yeah, we will re-raise and we're willing to go all in with this hand. I mean, we have connected suitors pretty high as well. 7-10. I mean, it was a 40% hand to just end this match. It didn't get there. He actually flopped some pretty good hands, because it took away a lot of my hands. He also had a flush draw. Here we have a straight. So yeah, let's bet 225. I mean, this is just value bet, right? If he only 10 queen beats me, so he has 10-8. Wow, woo! I mean, why do you show me those hands? Don't show much you fold. I mean, I don't care. He basically gives me information, but yeah. Obviously, ace queen, we would have wanted something to happen, but it didn't. We have 5-3 here on the bottom, though. We are low stacked with pretty high blinds. Would have preferred that was higher. That was the other way around. Should have been more patient, but they say patience is a virtue. But this did get boring pretty fast. The way this guy plays. Check 8. He folds. Ace 7, so let's raise it up. If he raises me, I'm shoving it in his face. He just folds. So we're still 2-1 here. We have queen 7, he just folds. Jack 7 suited though, and the button. I mean, we are grinding ourselves back into this game now, and I hope we get a monster. We're due for one. We haven't. Well, I mean, we got jacks, we got queens, but he just did his standard faulting. Here we fold. I mean, the blinds are a bit high to just try to take stuff away. We'll call 80. I mean, we do have queen 3. We actually hit middle pair, so we assume we're good. He could have an ace and we're drawing pretty thin, but I mean, we can't always fold, right? So he didn't have it, and now we're in the lead. We do have an ace here. So yeah, we're in the lead at these blinds now. If you saw how down we were, just because this guy is way too tight in his hands. If you hit a 7, that's pretty good. We don't. He bets, we fold. He actually bets pot size. 3 queen, obviously. I'm willing to do that. Nope, not an all-in though. That's the 11th time or something that he shoves. We will call here, we have an ace. He has king 9, so this time we're ahead. Hope he doesn't hit. We hit our ace and it's done for. No, it's not done for yet, but I mean, at these blinds. Queen 10, obviously, I'm willing to put them all in. Yeah, obviously I'll call. I have queen 10, I have 2 live cards. I need to hit. Nope, don't. So he gets this one, that's fine. We have ace king here, hope he shoves. We'll call, we have the nuts. We actually haven't dominated, so just have to dodge a 10. And we also have a flush draw. So yeah, we do get there. I consider this a pretty boring match. It wasn't as interesting. Obviously it's a totally different style of play. But I don't think such a passive play and this amount of shoving is good. Because eventually people will catch on when you shove, how you shove. Will give you less respect. As you see, I only shoved when I was low stack and had to, and called his shove once. When I had a decent hand, I assumed he had an ace, but I assumed it was a 40% hand. I was in the lead, and I still won. So yeah, long game. See you for the next one.